Guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are going to check out two more of these Wow Pods. I believe these are the only other two that are out currently. This time we've got ourselves the Mosasaurus as well as Velociraptor Blue, and these look really cool, honestly. I think the Mosasaurus might potentially be my favorite of all because that Mosasaurus one there is just insanely awesome looking. But the Velociraptor Blue one is pretty cool because this is the first time, to my knowledge anyway, as far as these Wow Pods go, that we had a full-bodied dinosaur included in one, because prior to this we had the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which was only the head, and we had the Triceratops, which was only the head. So now we have the Mosasaurus, which is like the first probably, I guess, third of the body, maybe quarter of the body, and then we have Velociraptor Blue entirely, and it definitely looks awesome. Really excited to get a closer look at both of these. As far as the packaging goes, it's pretty much the same as it was last time around. It doesn't look like there's anything new to it, and it obviously tells you that you can swipe to light and all of that fun stuff, which if you saw the first review, you'll already know basically what that looks like, and it looks awesome, so I can't wait to see it on these two. And then here on the back, you can see the different figures that are in the line, as far as we've got the Mosasaurus again that we're about to take a look at, Velociraptor Blue, which we are also about to take a look at, the Triceratops, and then of course Rexy, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So let's pop the boxes open these up, and check them out. So here are our newest Wow Pods that we have here to add to my collection, and they definitely look really fun. I actually have not quite yet found a place on my wall to put these up, but I really do want to do that because I think they'd probably look so cool once they're all put up and kind of interlocking and connecting and looking awesome. But both of them do look really cool. Like I said, I think the Mosasaurus might be my favorite of all. One thing that's interesting about these two over the previous two, though, is that you can see as far as the background goes, the background is nothing more than kind of like a white, whereas the previous two had kind of like a wall-like look. So these two are similar to each other as far as the way they are presented, but again, they definitely look pretty fun. I'm really excited to see what they look like with the light effect and everything, and maybe the white background will kind of give it a, maybe a pretty cool, maybe a pretty creepy appearance as far as that light effect. Who really knows until we see it, but we're going to go ahead and jump straight to a closer look first and check these out from there. So we'll go ahead and begin with Velociraptor Blue, because why not? Now, Blue definitely looks pretty nice as far as the sculpt goes, and what we have as far as Velociraptor Blue is obviously a lunging kind of an attack here at us, as Velociraptor Blue is leaping up. Almost reminds me of the Velociraptor from the Lost World Jurassic Park when they're out in the high grass, the long grass, and the raptor kind of jumps up and leaps at you. That's kind of what this one looks like as far as the pose goes, which I really do quite like. Definitely a visual I would not want to be on the receiving end of would be a Velociraptor leaping up here at me, especially a Jurassic Park Velociraptor. A more realistically sized Velociraptor I might be able to fend off, maybe, but not Velociraptor Blue. But as far as the sculpt goes, I definitely think it looks pretty nice. We've got some beautiful detailing throughout. You can see actually a lot of like skin wrinkles and skin folds and everything here on the underside, even leading up into the neck. Actually, you can see quite a bit of that up there as well. We have some pretty nice texturing and stuff as far as the fine detail goes. You do have sculpted out nails and everything here on the hands as well as the toes. They don't have any paintwork on them, unfortunately, but they don't necessarily need that when it comes to a figure like this. You can see you've got a pretty fun curve to the tail as it leads down and then leads up in almost a snake-like fashion. And I also like that here, if you see the feet and the positioning of the toes, it almost looks like the toes are about to reach out to kind of sink into you. So that's also a pretty cool aspect of the figure. As far as the coloration goes, we only have a gray for Velociraptor Blue. It's hard to really get back there to see, but you can kind of see it right there. It doesn't look like we actually have the blue stripe or anything running down the course of blue, but since that's kind of back behind Velociraptor Blue, it's also something that's not necessary, I guess. You can see we do have yellow eyes with a black pupil, and the mouth is open, of course, providing us with that almost ferocious type look as the raptor is lunging at us. And you can see we have a nice pinkish coloration on the inside of the mouth. The teeth look pretty good as far as the sculpting and painting goes, and definitely looks good overall. So that is absolutely an awesome looking Wow Pod. Again, another really cool one here in this line, but the one I'm most excited about is the Mosasaurus, and look at how phenomenal this is. So as far as our Mosasaurus goes, obviously you can see the Mosasaurus is kind of lunging up out of the water. And the water that we have here, as far as the effect goes, looks really neat, as we have some beautiful darker blues, and then of course it leads up to a really nice white, as we can see the splashing of the water type effect they have going on. And then as you lead up into the Mosasaurus itself, that might be the most highest of quality detail that I've seen on one of these figures so far, because the Mosasaurus is absolutely sculpted to the max, and the paintwork as well is actually quite phenomenal, as you have, again, some nice bluish tones, but it leads up into a black. You can see the black leading down here into the flipper as well, but we also have more of the blues down there. Lots of really nice fine detail to the Mosasaurus, and as you lead up, you can see that the eye is painted really nicely. You've got a nice white eye as well as a black pupil, and then you have the mouth open here for our Mosasaurus. You can see we've got a beautiful pinkish tone in the inside of the mouth, and then you've got a tongue there. All the teeth look really good as far as the sculpting goes, and you can also see that we do have the teeth there on the inside, on the upper jaw, that you would like to see on a Mosasaurus. So, like I said, even just looking at it, well, if my camera would focus, even just looking at it from here, I was really quite impressed with it and thought instantly that it would probably be my favorite. But actually having, a nice closer look here up at it, I can definitely tell you it's my favorite, because I think the sculpt is probably the best here on this one out of any of them. And I'm not just talking about the overall appearance, but mostly just like the fine detail, although the overall appearance is so spot on to the Jurassic World Mosasaurus. So the Mosasaurus is absolutely awesome, definitely my favorite out of all 4 of these Wow Pods I've taken a look at. And then of course, another of the very fun aspects of these Wow Pods, not only the fact that you can kind of connect them, which if you look here, you can take these pieces, and if I get it in the right spot, I still didn't get it in the right spot, so we're going to try it from the back because it's a little easier. So I went too far, but there you can see how you can connect them. Now they are held together, so if you actually put them up on the wall, you can kind of combine them to have a whole bunch of different dinosaurs and obviously marine reptiles there to, connect together and look awesome. And you can see that we do have the areas here on the back to connect them to the wall, or you can of course just set them on a table somewhere and keep them connected. That works perfectly fine as well. And again, one of the most exciting aspects, like I was trying to say, would be the light and sound aspect to these. So I'm actually going to dim the lights. We won't turn them off entirely. We'll just dim them a little bit here, and then we'll try each one individually. So here would be Velociraptor Blue. So that's definitely fun. I'm actually going to turn the lights off entirely, I think, and take a look at them from there just to see how much cooler they look. Because you can see the light effect, but I don't think it really gives you the full feel for it. But then as far as the Mosasaurus and the sounds go, so the sounds are awesome, but something I actually didn't notice on Velociraptor Blue that now I'm glad I'm going to turn the lights off to take a look at is this back area here is kind of like a screen, because when you turn it on and the lights turn on, you could see that there was this shark there for the Mosasaurus to consume. If we turn that back on again, pay attention to that part. So that's pretty neat. I'll turn the lights off really quick and then we'll take a look at them. You'll probably be able to see it a little better from there. And now you can really see how cool they look. That is super, super awesome. You can definitely much better see the shark back there now. But that is really quite unique looking. Very innovative and interesting idea here on the part of Wow Stuff when creating these absolutely epic Wow Pods. Now, as far as a size goes, if you saw my last review, they are exactly the same size. There's no difference here. But for a width, you are looking at almost 4 3/4 inches, or around 12 centimeters. And then for a height, about a little over 4 inches, or around 10.5 centimeters. So they're not super huge, but they're not super small either. For a size comparison to show you that, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line next to our Wow Pods. And you can see, again, size-wise, they're not massive, but they do look really cool. They are a bit on the smaller side, so you don't have to worry about something that's going to take up too much room. But if they were a lot bigger, like, you have to think that you would, want to connect them and everything. That's kind of half the fun of these figures. you wouldn't really be able to do that too well when you have huge versions of these. So the smaller aspect of these makes 100% sense when kind of creating yourself quite a clan of WoW pods. And hopefully they'll continue to release more of these in the future, so we'll continue to have more chances to add more and more to our WoW pod collection. So these WoW pods from WoW Stuff for the Jurassic World line are absolutely awesome. I was really happy with the T-Rex and Triceratops they had released prior, and now I'm even more happy, I think, with these two, because I love the idea of the white background so that it kind of like shows off some sort of a background behind them. That's pretty neat. I thought the idea of them breaking through the wall and everything with the Rex and Triceratops was definitely cool, but when it comes to these two, you really couldn't do that because the Velociraptor's not really going to be able to break through a wall, and then you have a Mosasaurus, which wouldn't really be anywhere near a wall, so it makes sense that they went this route with these two, and I think it turned out really nice overall. The Velociraptor Blue is fantastic as far as the appearance goes. They perfectly chose the display of Velociraptor Blue with Blue kind of leaping up, coming in for an attack. The sculpt looks really, really nice. There's not really too much as far as paintwork to Blue, but considering we're only looking at the underside of Blue, we don't really need too much else. It kind of would have been just, I think maybe even a little overkill if you would have given it the blue stripe and everything, or alternate tones of color. You really didn't need it since we're only looking at the underside of Blue, so they did a pretty good job overall on it, and for the most part the paintwork looks really good. There's no real huge sloppiness or anything that I can see anywhere, and of course the sound and light aspect of Blue is absolutely awesome. And then you've got the Mosasaurus, which is easily my favorite of all of these WoW pods, which is quite shocking because you would think, being a dinosaur lover, I would choose to love a dinosaur over a marine reptile, but in this case I just feel like the overall appearance of the Mosasaurus is the most appealing, the most beautiful. The detailing as well is probably the best that I've seen out of all four of these on the Mosasaurus, and the paintwork is phenomenal. So just as a whole, I love the Mosasaurus, I think a little bit more than I love the other three, but all four are incredible. And of course, the light up aspect and sound aspect of the Mosasaurus is great also, especially when you see the shark in the background kind of recreating that Jurassic World scene and everything. So as a whole, both of these are fantastic and very high recommendations from me. Two really cool Jurassic World collectibles. So if you are interested in either of these or the other two, I will include links in the description to all four on Amazon where you can grab them for yourself right now. So make sure you check those links, go grab yourself some of these amazing WoW pods, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.